This is the new Laney Ironheart pedal. It promises massive modern metal tones in a small compact size. I love a good modern metal tone. So let's see if it does everything it says on the tin. Hi, I'm Lucas Gabb, and today I'm at Gear4music and we're going to be checking out the brand new pedal from Laney, which is the Ironheart Foundry pedal. The Laney Ironhearts are a classic amp head. They're used in a lot of high gain sounds, used by bands like Killswitch Engage, and Tony Iommi uses them. They're amazing amps. So as the amp climate is changing, people are moving to smaller amps and compact rigs because if you need to travel, it's always nice to have a small version. Laney have seen this and they've done the best thing they could possibly do. They've made a 60-watt pedal of their iconic amp and it's in a tiny form factor. So if we take a quick look at the pedal here, you can see it's got the signature light up Ironheart logo like we'd always expect, but not to mention it's got two independent channels, an effects loop at the side, a speaker output, guitar in, and we've also got a headphone out and an XLR DI out straight to the front of house. So the great thing about this pedal is it's a 60-watt amp, so you can send output directly to a cab without an additional power amp pedal. So that's just in one unit. But you can also send a direct signal with cabinet emulation to the front of house. So a lot of players these days, they're sending these two different lines, so they've got cabs on stage pumping out volume, but they also want that isolated tone that's sent to the front of house. This pedal delivers it all. Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about each of the channels. So we have two separate channels here, channel 1, channel 2, and they both have different switches which allow us to kind of like change the flavor of each channel. So let's check out channel 1 first, and let's look at the clean channel. So you can see it's got a very glassy clean, which is quite nice. It's not something you'd normally expect of a high gain pedal, but we can kind of switch between different flavors here, smooth and circle lead. So that's kind of like a bit of a breakup stage of where the amp would normally be. But within these channels, you can see that we've got a 3-band EQ, and this is like a global EQ. So this deals with the EQ across both of the channels. But we do have independent controls for the channel up here, which is the gain and the volume. So I've got the gain fairly rolled back, but we could pull it up a bit on the lead and see what we're saying here. See, for me, that's quite a nice, warm, crunchy sound. It's just at that breakup point. So on each of these channels as well, we've also got a boost control. This acts as, your gain in front of your amp. It kind of gives you a bit more oomph before it actually hits the amp modeling stage or the valve stage of it. So if I switch the boost on, pull that gain back up. So it's always nice to have that feature, but I think where we'll really benefit from that is on the second channel. So I'm going to hit this switch here, which will move that over to our, I suppose, the lead channel that I would consider the main rhythm tone for the amp. So on this channel, we've got a few different switching options. We've got a bright and a dark, and then a middle blend. I've personally set it to the middle blend because I'm tuned to drop A on a 7 at the moment, and it's quite deep and low. So naturally, I'm doing a bit of low end taming because we don't want it to be too woofy. So let's check that out. So I mean, that to me is great out of the box. I've always been a massive fan of Laney Ironheart stuff purely because sometimes all you need is just a quick 3-band and you can just dial that tone in straight away. The amp itself has such a great kind of voice to it that a lot of the time you don't really need to do a great deal. It's just adjusting to your personal pickup settings or your tuning. So within this, we've also got the same 3-band We've got a gain control and an independent volume. So if you're using both channels, you can quite happily use this as a foot controller, stomp on that and move over to your heavy sound. So effectively, this unit, you could take this to a show, put this on the floor, plug it in with a single power supply, and this could be the entirety of your tones for a gig. You know, for flying to shows, that's going to be super useful and super compact. So let's have a little look at some of the dark and the bright switches. So switching over to the dark, you're going to get a bit of a darker sound, but it's going to be a little bit more low end heavy, and it's going to have a bit more kind of wool to it. So that's going to be super good if you're using like a guitar that's in a bit of a higher tuning. You're probably going to be favouring that because it's going to bring you a lot of that oomph that you're looking for. If I switch this over to the bright, that's where we're really going to get some attack. But before I do this, let's also hit the boosting. This is where we're really going to benefit from it because we're going to see a lot of like, you know, pinch harmonics and all these kind of like juicy bits that we're used to playing in modern metal are really going to sing. That decay is insane. Yeah, this thing's super, super cool. So we've also got a built-in effects loop, which means that you can integrate this with any of your existing pedals. For example, you could put this on a pedal board, and this could just be the heart and soul of your amp sound, whilst you've got all your effects being dealt with by another unit or individual pedals. This will behave the same way as you would if you had an amplifier and you were running pedals through the effects loop. Always great for things like reverb and delay. So I'm a modern metal player, and I've been playing around with this pedal for a good 5 minutes now, and I've managed to get a tone I'm already super happy with. So let's see if the Laney Ironheart Foundry pedal delivers the modern metal mayhem we're all after. So there you go. This thing has got a killer tone. So I'm wondering, is this going to be your new solution for a portable rig? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for checking out the video. Make sure you like and subscribe. See you next time.